This is the knockout artist, Chris Hero. And if you're looking for some true heel heat, you better listen to them boys.
Hello. It is me, your Trio Phenom SP3. We are back again. We are not live. This is pre-recorded, but it is a good one because we're going to talk about the top 10 best matches from Labor Day 2022 weekend. Huge weekend across the wrestling world, across continents, in fact. You had AEW All Out, as per usual, from Chicago, Illinois. You had WWE with two huge shows. One, the first show in the UK in over 30 years at Cardiff, Wales, Principality Stadium, Clash at the Castle, September 3rd. And then they came back the next day, September 4th, NXT Worlds Collide in Orlando, Florida. Had some main roster representation with AEW in Chicago. You also had GCW with 3 huge shows. They had a co-promoted show with Black Label Pro on Friday. They then came back with one of their titular shows, one of their signature events, the Art of War Games. They had the first one last year. This was Art of War Games 2. I was there live for that one. And then on Sunday, they had GCW presents Effie's Big Gay Brunch. So, plenty of wrestling for us to choose from, but it's so tough to give you the 10. And because it's Labor Day weekend, we also got to include Fridays and Friday and Monday, because Monday is actually Labor Day. So we got a lot to discuss, but I want to hear from you. It's not just my list. I want to hear from all of you guys, even if it's not pre-recorded. I will be in the live chat talking about this list with the rest of y'all that are here for the live premiere. But more importantly, for anyone watching on demand and for those watching on the live premiere, let me know in the comments down below, what was your best match from Labor Day 2022? Best match from all the events from that weekend: AEW All Out, WWE Clash at the Castle, NXT Worlds Collide, GCW Art of War Games, GCW 4 Cup Stuffs, GCW Effie's Big Gay Brunch, and more. Or maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm missing something from the outer reaches that happened on Friday, September 2nd, Saturday, September 3rd, Sunday, September 4th, or Monday, September 5th. I know New Japan Pro Wrestling has some great shows in front of crowds that can actually cheer. Great stuff. But the best thing for you to do, if you don't want to leave a comment in the live chat, don't want to leave the comment in the comments down below, show your appreciation for this list by dropping the thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, drop that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. Got a huge weekend of content ahead with True Heel Heat 193 tomorrow, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time. Then you also got Serving Face and Heels number 14 on Sunday at 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time. You also got our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/True Heel Heat Wrestling, as well as patreon.com/True Heel Heat for additional content. And then if you're not into wrestling at all, you also got True Heel Heat Sports. So subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Let's get into the list, shall we? Couple of honorable mentions before we get into our list here. Like I said, I'm including everything from the big weekend. It was a big weekend. Wasn't able to catch everything, but I did catch a few honorable mentions that I want to name drop here. From Monday Night Raw on September 5th, you had Kevin Owens versus Theory. Really good matchup between those two guys. Great promo beforehand, and then they segued into the matchup. You had Dark Order versus Best Friends in the AEW World Trio Championship Tournament from AEW Rampage on December 2nd. I was there live. Best match on that show by by a lengthy margin for sure. Really good match to close out the trios tournament before the finals. You had Speedball Mike Bailey versus Kylie Ray from GCW Black Label Pro 4-Cup Stuff. Really strong intergender matchup. Mike Bailey continuing his stretch of fantastic matches on the independent scene. Kylie Ray, one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. You had Sawyer Wreck versus Charlie Evans. This was from GCW's The Art of War Games. I was with my good brother Rick Ucchino of the Believe in Pro Wrestling podcast, and he had never seen anything like this. This is a brutal death match. Light tubes getting broken everywhere, glass being broken, and these two women busted open even hours later, walking around after the show. From also Art of War Games, you had Aussie Open versus Nick Wayne and Jordan Oliver. Kind of your all spots, big bumps, high impact maneuver type of tag team matchup. All four men looking really strong. Aussie Open getting the victory in their GCW debut. And then also from the Art of War Games, the titular event, the Art of War Games match for the GCW World Tag Team Championships that was won by John Wayne Murdoch and Alice Colon. Insanity, fuckery at its highest level. The Art of War Games is their steel cage meets scaffold meets death match type of matchup. You had the Briscoes in here, you had Bussy, you had SGC, you had Los Masitos, but the Odd Couple tag team, the former rivals Colon and John Wayne Murdoch, came out with the victory. All I will tell you, you had a splash off a scaffold with someone holding light tubes that went almost totally off. All I will say about that right there. But let's get into the actual list. With number 10, coming in at number 10, we got from AEW All Out 2022, Chris Jericho versus the American Dragon. Bryan Danielson. Chris Jericho was in his Lionheart mode, and what we got was a little technical wrestling affair. Both men trying to grapple for position in the early on, and then we got the big moves, submission counters in the end. Really nicely built. I don't know if this was the best pace for this event because you're coming on in hour 4 of a 5-hour event, so it's a tough spot to be in, but I thought these two guys meshed very well, had their best match up until this day. I think their match that happened recently on Dynamite is a little bit better. Their second match in AEW, but you had Jericho reversing a Frankensteiner off the top rope into the walls of Jericho. You had the submission exchange where Jericho was going into the walls while Bryan was going for the lapel lock. You had the big moves like the Code Breaker and the Psycho knee. In the end, though, Chris Jericho did not listen to Daniel Garcia, the man that's torn in between his hero, Bryan Danielson, and his mentor, Jericho. He did not listen to him and win fair and square. He used a low blow with the referee, out of the sight of the referee, and then the Judas effect to get the victory here. Jericho Appreciation Society came out and celebrated with Jericho afterwards, but Daniel Garcia did not. The story continues. Let's move on. Number 9 from NXT War Games, the main event of NXT War Games, in fact, NXT Championship, NXT UK Championship on the line. Tyler Bate versus Braun Breaker. Tyler Bate, man, he's one of probably the most underappreciated, underrated wrestlers in all of the WWE. This guy, pound for pound, match for match, delivers on such a consistent basis, and he did that here, and he delivered and gave Braun Breaker his best match yet. Braun Breaker looked intimidating, he looked intense, his moves looked on point. He didn't have a lot of the mistakes that we usually see in the bigger Braun Breaker matchups, and a lot of that can be attested to Tyler Bate. They made Tyler Bate look strong, kicking out of Braun's gorilla press into the slam. He tried to look for it again, but Bate escaped. Bate got the Tyler Driver 97, but Braun Breaker kicked out of that one. He went for his slingshot lariat, but Braun catches him with the spear for the 1-2-3. If you want me to, guys, I know you guys love my star rating, so I'm going to give a star rating to everything. Jericho and Danielson, I'll give that 4 stars. This one, I will also give 4 stars. I just thought it was just a little bit better pace. This was more fast paced than the Jericho Bryan match. So despite getting the same rating, rank it ahead because the pacing was a lot stronger here. And Braun Breaker's best match to date as he unifies the NXT and NXT UK championships. Let's move on to number 8 from AEW All Out 2022. From the 0 Hour pre-show, you have Eddie Kingston going one-on-one with Tomohiro Ishii. This match was brilliant violence. Just two men chopping the crap out of each other. Forearms, chops, penalty kicks. This was intense. This had the people in Chicago, I was there live, on their feet, so into this action. And despite another match being closely resembling what we got here, this still stands out and is unique from the other matches that I'm going to say on this list, even the one that you are probably thinking of. But yeah, you have the penalty kicks by Ishii. You had hard chops from Kingston, and just the roar of the crowd, and the crowd getting louder and louder as the chops get louder. This is the type of matchup that I just love to watch and love to be there live. In the end, though, Kingston hit some hurricanes, the spinning back face of the future, and then a snowplow, a Northern Lights bomb to another Lights driver, pretty much, to get the victory in this one, and definitely showed his respect and applause for Ishii after. Such a strong match, 4.25 stars. Probably the best AEW pre-show match. When I think of that, I would think Riho and Serena D, but this is right up. Definitely. Let's move on to number 7 as my neighborhood is getting ready for partying and the weekend. Let's talk about number 7, NXT War Games 2022, the opener. NXT North American Championship, Ricochet going up against the champion, Carmelo Hayes. You knew you were going to see some high-flying expertise in this matchup, and you definitely got that. But the strikes and the movements and the sequences of this matchup were just awe-inspiring, to say the least. Definitely the spot of the matchup, the huge double springboard, double crossbody in the middle of the ring with Ricochet and Carmelo. You definitely are going to see that on video packages for years for Carmelo as well as NXT. You had just Trick constantly getting involved and really being a hindrance to not just Ricochet winning the matchup, but the overall enjoyment of the matchup, unfortunately. I think I would have rated and put this match higher on this list if not for Trick Williams' interference. Probably the best and the spot that got me on my feet and my jaw on the floor was Ricochet's huge superplex on Carmelo Hayes, and just taking a pretty basic move and making it unique and putting an extra spring on it is just what Ricochet is known for. And I'm loving the resurgence he's received since Triple H has gotten in charge. In the end, though, Ricochet used one too many high-flying moves. He went for a shooting star press, but Melo got his knees up. He rolls him up for the 1-2-3 to retain the NXT North American Championship. 4.25 stars as well, but this one I just love it and I want to see more of it. This was a match that definitely made me want to see more of Hayes versus Ricochet. Let's go in to number 6. Number 6 comes from WWE Clash at the Castle, our first match from this show, and tells you about the quality of this show because it won't be the last from this show. But coming in at number 6, Seth Rollins going one-on-one with Matt Riddle. I like the fact that this didn't start off with a lockup. This started off with intensity. Both guys going at it due to the grudge heading into the matchup. Riddle using more of his submission base and MMA skills as well as his striking. Rollins taking Riddle off base with his high impact offense like the buckle bomb, but this time into the guardrail. In the end, though, Rollins tried to make it personal and brought out a beast inside of Riddle, who just snapped out at this point. Rollins took advantage of that, basically making Riddle chase after him, then hitting a curb stomp in the middle in the ring, and then a second rope curb stomp to get the victory. 1-2-3 over Riddle here. I gave this one also 4.25 stars. Just a tremendous matchup between two great workers on this WWE roster, and I feel like they gave us a taste because this was not going to be their last match together, as we've been seeing lately on Monday Night Raw. Let's get into the top 5 with number 5. Jimmy, you're getting music. I hope I don't get copyrighted for this. It's not my fault. Coming in at number 5 from WWE Clash at the Castle, the main event for the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. Drew McIntyre in the UK getting the shot at Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns definitely got a heel reaction, which was good because I know previously he had gotten very strong babyface type reactions in the UK, and it made for a fabulous atmosphere to this one. You had a lot of outside elements cutting into this one early on. You had Karrion Kross and Scarlett in the front row getting in Drew McIntyre's face, causing a distraction. This led to Roman Reigns getting the heat, getting on the mic, telling Cardiff to acknowledge him. But this gave Drew an opening to make a comeback. Drew hit some big moves as he looks for the Claymore. He got hit with the Superman punch. He got hit with the spear, and he kicked out of the spear, and it just felt, it was like, this is Drew's night. This is Drew's night. Both men were down after a Claymore attempt, knocks down the referee, as well as Roman Reigns and Drew taking a lot of punishment. This led to Theory coming out, trying to cash in Money in the Bank. But Tyson Fury in the front row, boxing champion, knocks him out, takes him out of commission. Drew McIntyre takes advantage of this, hits a big old spear of his own, and then hits the 1, 2, 3 Claymore. He got the 1. He got the 2. But before the referee can count 3, Solo Sikoa, the newest member of the Bloodline, the little brother of Jimmy and Jay Uso. There was no Jimmy and Jay, no Sami Zayn, no Paul Heyman. No problem for Roman Reigns. Solo Sikoa makes his debut, helps Roman Reigns, drops Drew McIntyre on the top rope. Roman hits a 3rd spear on Drew, 1, 2, 3, to retain the WWE Undisputed Universal Championship. I've said it on our review of Clash at the Castle. I'll say it here. If this match had a better finish or had Drew winning, it probably would have been 5 stars. With the finish we got, 4.5 stars. Great match. Great Undisputed Universal Championship matchup. And I'm just rating it on the match itself, not the ridiculous post-match that we got with Drew McIntyre and Tyson Fury. That would be -5 stars. Let's move on to number 4, y'all. Let's go back to AEW All Out 2022 with the AEW World Trios Championship on the line. Dark Order, Alex Reynolds and John Silver teaming up with Hangman Adam Page to verse his former co-stablemates in the Elite, the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson, and Kenny Omega. This match was nonstop action, great action throughout. All 6 guys really highlighting, especially Alex Reynolds, probably the most underrated, underappreciated person in the matchup, getting chants, getting highlight moments, getting spotlight moments throughout this one. But really the crust and the glue of this whole entire story, whole entire matchup, has been the first time Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega were in the ring since Full Gear 2021, and every single time they went face to face, single time they went eye for eye, and they had an exchange in the ring. This crowd was electric. AEW has created a new rivalry that the fans are on their feet and invested in, and you saw that with Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega throughout this bout, and that really elevated this bout to being one of the best on this weekend, on the show, in probably one of the best trio matches in AEW history. In the end, though, the finish was the cherry on top and just brilliant. Hangman Adam Page, the man that didn't want to be in the trios tournament, turned down his former friends, the Young Bucks, because he didn't want to be in the tournament. He wanted the Dark Order to win the tournament, do it on their own, and he just wanted to be in their corner and root them on. And because of injuries, he had to step in, win the semifinals, and then be in the finals against his former friends. And it was because of Hangman Adam Page, after a great exchange between Silver and Omega, with Silver getting near falls, even reversing the One Ring Angel. Silver held Omega up for Hangman Adam Page to hit the buckshot lariat, but Omega moves out the way. Page hits Silver with the buckshot lariat. Nick Jackson holds on to Hangman as Omega gets the pin on Silver. And the Elite are the first ever AEW World's Trios Championships. Yeah, that reign didn't last too long, did it? All Out backstage fight. You've heard enough about that on this YouTube channel. But speaking of All Out backstage fight, the other participant is next. Coming in at number 3 from All Out 2022, CM Punk versus Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. When I say this was one of the most raucous crowds I've ever been a part of, this is why I say it. Because these fans, from the moment this bell rings and you see these two men in the ring, the fans of Chicago were on their feet. Everyone on the floor was on their feet for all 20 plus minutes of this bout. And it was so... It was surreal sometimes to see how invested. Even if you weren't a CM Punk fan, you wanted to see him lose more than anything. You either wanted to see him win more than anything or lose more than anything. Moxley changing, subverting the expectations. We expect the Jon Moxley match. We expect him to bleed. Instead, CM Punk was the one bleeding here with the Crimson Mats. Moxley gritting his fingers into it, being ruthless, being intense, being having no remorse for his actions throughout this bout, just looking to try to get the win and beat CM Punk one more time. Unfortunately, this wasn't his time. CM Punk fought from underneath. A great babyface effort, a great underdog babyface effort from CM Punk in this matchup. In the end, he hits a go to sleep. Then Moxley falls back into the ropes, falls down onto CM Punk's back. He fights his way to his feet, picks Moxley up for another GTS. 1, 2, 3. That was the third GTS because the opening minutes had a GTS, kind of trying to show that Punk could possibly beat Moxley in the same amount of minutes that Moxley beat them in their first encounter. What a main event matchup. 4 3/4 stars. One of my favorite Punk matches that I've ever seen live. I love this matchup. Love the story, love the intensity, love the crowd heat for this. And then the post-match with MJF coming out, making his return, revealing himself as the man who won the casino ladder match. Magnifique stuff. However, that's not what I have ranked as the best match from AEW All Out. The best match from AEW All Out comes in at number 2. And that's the AEW World Tag Team Championships up for grabs. Swerve in Our Glory, Keith Lee, and Swerve Strickland versus the Acclaimed, Max Caster and Anthony Bowens. This is the match that exceeded the expectations the most. I think all the matches that we listed here before the weekend happened, I think everybody thought they would be great matches. This match we thought would be good. And what we got was amazing. What we got was a star-making performance from Max Caster and Anthony Bowens with Billy Gunn in their corner. This Chicago crowd loved them. I've never heard a crowd that you expect for a team to be popular, and they were molting hot and wanted and needed the Acclaim to win this one more than anything. It seemed like they wanted the Acclaim to win more than life itself, ladies and gentlemen. I kid you not, that's how it felt in the arena, being there live in Chicago, and this how close they came to getting the victory on several occasions, whether it's Max Caster with the attitude adjustment moment, Anthony Bowens getting his near falls, the superplex off the top rope, just so many great moments. In the end, though, Swerve in Our Glory, despite their dysfunction, despite not always getting along, despite their mixed cues, they hit the call for glory, hit the 1, 2, 3, and they successfully defend the AEW World Tag Team Championships. After the match, Keith Lee scissoring with Daddy Ass, showing his respect.
What a fucking matchup. I gave the match originally 4.5 stars. Second viewing, watching it a second time, I'll go 4 3/4. It felt special. This felt special and felt like a star-making performance for the Acclaim. Another star-making performance is number 1. And what's better than one star-making performance? Because the Acclaim became stars in our number 2. 2 guys elevating themselves to a different level. And for one, a guy that's been here for more than a decade plus, it's amazing to say that. But coming in at number 1 from WWE, Clash at the Castle, you guessed it, it's Gunther defending the Intercontinental Championship against Sheamus. I think everybody was looking forward to this matchup and thought it would be one of the best matches on this card. But what we got was something incredibly special. This was grueling to watch. It was brutal. These 2 men beat the holy hell out of each other. Sheamus's chest afterward looked like roast beef. It looked like this man had been mauled and robbed and beaten half of his life. In the ring, out of the ring, out ringside, all using the steel steps, using the announce table. Sheamus, though, fought and put on an amazing underdog effort. Just as great as CM Punk's underdog babyface effort was against Jon Moxley at All Out, I think Sheamus was better because he became an instant babyface, not just in Cardiff, but probably worldwide. The beats of the Bowery on the announce table, then in the ring, then over the guardrail, just had the fans just wanting and rallying behind him, trying to cheer him to victory in the UK. This man that has been a workhorse and one of the most consistent in-ring performers in WWE. They just wanted to see him win the Intercontinental Championship so he can get the validation of being a Grand Slam champion. But Gunther is the final boss of WWE now. Brutal chop after chop, power bombs on the small of the back, and then finally one big old lariat, and Gunther gets the victory here. And on our review, the day after Clash at the Castle, I was scared to put my foot on the pedal, and I said 4 3/4. Well, baby, I'm ready to go to full boat and go full speed ahead. 5 stars. This is something special, magical, one of the best WWE matches I've ever seen. This is in that lexicon. People got mad at me for not going 5 stars with Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes, and I'm still to this day believe that I was right. That is 4 3/4 stars. Certain things I would tweak. I think everybody gets an extra boost because of the Cody arm injury. This is the first real legit 5-star match for me in 2022. Just a magical moment. And Sheamus, a guy that's been here for more than a decade, been a tag team specialist, a part of the Bar, beat John Cena for the WWE Championship, multi-time WWE Champion, World Heavyweight Champion, Mr. Money in the Bank, King of the Ring, the Royal Rumble. He has done it all. This is his best match ever. A guy that's had classics and banger after banger after banger, like he said before, with John Cena, with Bryan Danielson. This is his best match I've ever seen. And Gunther is one of the most consistent, instant classic makers, best bout machines in wrestling today. This will definitely be on my list of the best matches of 2022. And we're getting close, ladies and gentlemen, to the end of the year. So I want to hear from all of you in the live chat, in the comments section. Let me know what you thought was the best match from Labor Day 2022 weekend in the comments down below. Let me know what you thought about my list. Do you think I needed to rearrange it a bit, put one match higher than the other? Let me know in the comments down below. Appreciate everyone who's watching this, whether it's on the live premiere or whether it is on demand. Show your appreciation back. Dropping the thumbs up on this video. Share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. And if you are new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, tomorrow, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time, we got True Heel Heat 193. We're going to be talking all about the Young Bucks sending out feelers to WWE. Solo Sikoa going back to NXT to win the North American Championship. Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul. We got a lot to discuss. Vince McMahon possibly returning at WrestleMania 39. And NXT's new logo. It'll be myself, Miss Chrissy Love, and special guest, Jesse Velasquez. Huge show tomorrow, True Hill Heat 193. And I thank you all for joining me for my list of the top 10 best matches of Labor Day 2022 weekend. Follow me on the Twitter machine at True Hill SP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at True Hill Heat. And I do more lists. I had my WrestleMania top 10 list, and I put a couple of my newer lists here on the channel, but I had a list of the best matches of WrestleMania weekend. I had the list of the best matches of SummerSlam weekend. Those are all up. Patreon.com/True Hill Heat for more additional content, and for merchandise, ProWrestlingTees.com/True Heels. Well, that brings us to a close on another one. Thank you so much, guys. And if you want to live stream, check us out tomorrow, True Hill Heat 193, 11:05 a.m. Eastern Time. It is me, your True Hill Phenom, SP3. This has been my top 10 Labor Day 2022 weekend matches. I am signing off until